Today we are launching a series of videos in order to support small local business owners. On this day I have the opportunity of interviewing Javier Jerez, one of the owners of Margarita Grill in Pelan, Alabama. We are going to talk about his background in the restaurant business, how he went from being a server all the way up to be opening Margarita Grill with the help of his brother RJ and his team, which he appreciates and believes is the reason of their success. His strategy is focusing on connecting to people, treating them as a family, not just as a customer. He also talks about the new strategies they are implementing to keep their business running and keep supporting their team in this Covid time. He also talks about the Cinco de Mayo and how they are preparing for this big day. I'm pretty sure you will love his interview, all his teaching and motivation that we all need. So keep tuned to the end because it has so much value that you will enjoy. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Today I'm here with Javier Jerez, the owner of Margarita Grill, Mexican restaurant here in Alabama. Thank you, Javier, for joining me today and this series of supporting small business owners and for being my first guest. Thank you so much and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Tanya. It's my honor.
Thank you. Okay, Javier, so why don't we start telling people about your background? You have been quite on the restaurant business. Tell us about a little bit about your experience in the restaurant. How did you get started with Margarita Grill?
Yes, I was fortunate enough to work for a restaurant in Louisiana. I started out as a server at Superior Grill in Shreveport, Louisiana. That was in 1990, long time ago. And when they opened here in 95, the owner asked me to come with him. And so I became the general manager at the store at Highway 280. Some people know here in the city. And I got plenty of experience between the time I was in Shreveport for 5 years and the time when I was here at the Superior Grill. It probably 14, 15 years or so of working with that guy who I really owe everything I know. His name is Phil Barberie. I have to say his name because he's that kind of a guy. And so everything I know, I really owe it to him. As far as Margarita Grill, we opened here in 2006. And one of the reasons we got up with the community, we connected with the community was on how my brother and I, who I also owe a lot of our success, is when you connect with people, when you go somewhere, and it sounds like a cliche, but it's true, when people really know your name and they really want to know what you are saying and they hear what you're saying. And so our staff has become, fortunately for us, a part of that. We are small, what I would call connectors with people that we have become not customers, but friends. And to me, that's one of the reasons we do what we do.
That's very interesting, and I was surprised one day. I was talking with one of your customers and they were from the north and they told me they came here for first time 10 years ago, and when always they go to the south, they stop here and they tell people for coming here because here do you guys treat everybody as a family, not just as a customer. So I think that's a great add value for your business, and that's what makes people keep coming here.
I agree. And I think that's ultimately in any business, I believe, is when you talk to someone and you yourself, you're not pretending, you're not putting on an act. When you're yourself and you are genuine, and people can see that. When you sell something, whatever that may be, your personality has to be yours, not no one else's. And so I believe because of all those things that we've done, I think it really people can see and identify that, you know, we are who we are, and we really want you to have a good time when you're here. And hopefully the food also helps a lot. And so when you combine those two things, people like the atmosphere, people like the food, and they become friends with our people, our team members, they're no longer a bartender, they're no longer a server. No, they call them by their names. And to me, ultimately, that's very flattering.
Yeah, that's right. And I have seen that when people come here, I see your brother telling that, welcome to the Margarita Grill experience, because that's an experience. Like here, you can find different spots. Like if you want to go to the dining room, or you can go to the patio and then have a concert, or also on the bar. So that's really amazing because you can bring all your family and friends and have a really nice time.
True. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, so you were starting on 2006 here, right? So
Yep.
2 years after that, the 2008 crisis came. And I bet, well, you were successful surviving to that crisis because now this is a really nice restaurant and really big. So did that crisis kind of prepare you for what we are facing right now with the Covit? Or
That's a good question. Yes, I think so. I think the number one answer to any crisis, I believe, is to be flexible, to be open-minded, also to be aware of what the market which way the market is going. So for instance, I believe this curbside and drive-through, I was telling my general manager months before this that we should be more involved in takeouts and catering because the millennials, they don't like to go out as much. They like to stay home and to order takeout. And I was telling him that when this happened, we already had a social media young man who's very aware of how the market works. And thankfully, we had already a plan. We did not have it set, but we had a plan where when this thing happened, we implemented it as quick as we could, and it's working out so far.
Yeah, and I can see that because I remember before the shelter-in-place here in Alabama, you were thinking already about doing takeouts to go orders. So I can see that you had been thinking ahead of what is going to happen. So all of these strategies that you have been implementing, are you gonna keep up with them, or have you think about another strategies to keep with this crisis? That it seems like we are gonna continue with this a little for a while.
Unfortunately, it seems like it's going to last longer. So yes, we're going to have different ways to approach the market. First of all, we want to see what capacity we can have. If it's going to be 50% of our restaurant seating, we're going to have to obviously change our business model. So what that means is we are going to try to sell more catering and try to sell more takeouts, even breakfast. We're thinking about opening for breakfast, which is something totally new for us. But once again, you have to be aware, you have to be very nimble, very flexible to be open for anything that can happen, because I like to say this, the one constant in life is change. Life is always changing. So your mindset has to be flexible enough to change with it. Even though no one likes changes, no one does. You have to, in order to survive, in order to succeed actually, you have to be flexible, and you have to realize that, well, this business model that you like and you grew up with, well, guess what? Sometimes you have to adjust it, and sometimes you just have to change it completely. And you can't be stubborn and say, no, this is the way it has worked, this is the way it is, and so I'm gonna stick with it. Well, guess what? That may not be the answer. So you always have to have what I believe is a plan B or plan C. In this case, you need a plan D and F too. So I believe that it's a great lesson for all of us in the business world. And fortunately for us, we can be, we're really in the front lines of how businesses can adapt or not into this world, in these situations.
Yes, and certainly adapting is a strategy that everybody needs, yeah, not just restaurant but people. And I know restaurant has been the most affected in this situation. Most of the restaurant are like in this case 80% down. So you have to be working very hard in order to keep running your business. And other thing that I'm very amazed about this restaurant is how have you been working to keep up with your employees, to supporting them. And I'm aware that you got a loan to keep supporting your staff. So you want to tell us a little bit about that? How you want to
Yes.
continue working with your people?
Well, first of all, thank you for what you said. And what I believe, and it goes back to my philosophy, I like to be treated with just like the way I treat everyone. And that goes our customers, our friends, our team members are just as vital, are just as important as anybody I know. I think that's one of the reasons I honestly believe we do what we do, because our team, it's like family. And it sounds so cheesy. I know it sounds like that, but that's how I look at it. Honestly, I see these guys that I've known for many years. What matters to me is that they are okay. Because the way I look at it is, when you have someone that takes care of you, and you know deep down inside they got your back, you know what? That's something less to worry about. So you do your job better. And it's a cycle. And the better you do your job, the more successful we become. The more successful we become, the more I take care of you. And it's a cycle, I believe, of what I would call a positive growth, not only in business, but also personal growth. When we become a family and when you can trust people here in your business with anything at all, and you can tell someone, hey, by the way, can you cover my shift? And they gladly will do it. And if you get sick, we'll take care of you. Whatever it may be, I want to believe that we have a great team. And the reason for the great team is we are a family.
And that's great. And we can reflect that how people want to keep coming here because they can see that environment when they come here and they can talk to the employees and they see that they are happy working here. Javier, let me know your secret. Why you always keep that nice attitude and that positivism? Give us some tips of how you keep that good energy.
Well, thank you. I believe my personality has a lot to do with it, but I also believe it's the biggest of all. It's attitude. Attitude is something that you can control. That's the only thing you can control, I tell people. So when things go bad or things change, there's not much you can do. All you can do is accept the change, adjust to the change, and move on. And I think that's what we do in here. I'm a people's person, so when I see people, I tend to smile. I do like people. And so when you have nice music, good food, a good environment, it's hard not to be so comfortable that you can talk to anyone and you can joke. It no longer becomes a job here. It's an experience, like RJ says. And I believe that also makes one of the many reasons I think our success depends on, it's a great environment, feels a great energy. And I think not only I, but you, when you hear, and the rest of the staff, they also get caught up in that. It's very contagious. Mm-hmm. Once you're having a good time, most people around you tend to have a good time. So I think a little bit of our personalities, a bit of our attitudes, music, all that plays into it, and I'm glad it happens. And thank you for saying it.
Oh no, thank you. And thank you for contagious with that good energy, because that's what we need, and more in these times, in these tough times. You have been very successful keeping with that good energy, working with your employees, providing them a place to work, a place where they can feel as a family. This Cinco de Mayo seems to be a little different to all of the Cinco de Mayo in the past. We are going to be open here and you are going to be providing food and drinks for people.
It's going to be the weirdest Cinco de Mayo ever. What we normally do, which is hug people and have fun and dance, we can't do any of that. Unfortunately, we're not open, at least the way we consider open. What we do instead, we're going to do the curbside that we've been doing for almost 2 months. It's crazy to say. Um, some deliveries. We also have caterings. Well, very few at the moment, actually. For tomorrow, mostly it's people coming out. But we'll see that they follow the rules just like everybody else should. And that is to keep social distancing, not to be drinking on the streets. Hopefully that won't happen, or something else. But we also believe that, people want to have fun. People are tired of being tied up and just being stuck at home. So a tailgate, I guess that the best way to think of it is people can be in the parking lot. We're gonna do our part, and that is to sell alcohol the way the ABC tells us to do. We're not asking for a concert. We're not promoting alcohol. We're not promoting anything to break the rules. We want to follow the rules here at Margarita Grill always. So what we'll do is we're gonna sell our margaritas with our sealed containers, just like we always have, and we're going to provide food to go. And that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully we're gonna have lots of customers that will be coming tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will come out.
I'm very excited about tomorrow and getting some margaritas here.
Me too. I want to have one myself. And I normally don't drink.
Well, it is worth it, and we need one because it's been tough times, and just having the opportunity to go to do something different and to change your minds and to enjoy yourself and with your friends, your family, going to your favorite restaurant, Mexican restaurant. So that's really amazing. We have to enjoy the little things that the life gives us. So this is something that we can enjoy together.
And I want to say that it changes, even if it's just for like 20, 30 minutes that you out here. Once you get out of your house, it really helps a lot. When you see people that, you've seen, like friends, and they hanging out here in their vehicles, obviously, it makes you feel better.
That's true. Oh, well, Javier, thank you for giving that opportunity for people to have a different experience, to change their mind a little bit, to enjoy themselves, providing delicious food and delicious margaritas and other drinks, and having them the opportunity to come here to take out their food. So thank you for that. I believe that people to help to the community, they are my heroes, because they are just thinking about themselves, but you are thinking about the community and your employees always. So that's very, very nice of you. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Tanya. And I want to make sure that people know that it's always great, not just Margarita Grill, but to support the other restaurants in the city. I think it's great. And if you have a chance to over tip, please do. It'll go a long way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Javier. Well, finally, I want to thank you for being my first guest of this series of supporting small local businesses. Thank you so much for coming, for accepting this invitation. And if there is something else that you want to share with your audience, please let me know.
Yes, actually, it's my honor. I'm fortunate to be your first guest, and I feel very lucky. I want to say to the audience that, well, it's a great idea, and I'm glad that you're doing it, by the way. I think it's a wonderful idea, so congratulations. And to say thanks to all the people that support small businesses, especially independent restaurants, because we're not a chain. It's just what you see here is what you get. So that's, to me, that's very important. And I like to, I'm thankful for everything that's happened so far, everything that is going on. It's a great lesson. Let's take it as a positive. It's a way of what can we learn from all this. And I know it's not easy, especially for the people that are sick and families who have members who had passed away, it's terrible. But nonetheless, when there's crisis like this one here, there's also opportunities. And so let's try to look for those opportunities and to adapt to the new model that we're into our new world. Because it's like everything is going to be different. That's what I hear, and I can see that. So let's try to accept changes, adapt to changes, and do the best with what you got. Yep, that's what I want to make sure that we all, and stay positive. Control your attitude. That's the only thing you can really control. And keep on shining. Thank you.